What's going on, everybody? This is Buck with Down and Down, a rabbit hole podcast. How's everybody doing today?
We're good.
Yeah.
Good.
And I'm
So,
Jack.
hey, you slow your roll. I will get there.
What we normally do, I'm Buck. And I'm Jack.
Hey.
But you come in right
hey.
off the key
Hey,
there,
I
off the
can-
bat.
I can do it how I want to do it.
You can do hit.
Well, before I was rudely interrupted, I'm joined by a motley crew today.
Motley.
First, we'll start out with my co-host.
Oh, Jack. That's me.
And then we've got a few friends. We're going to start out with Jack's lovely wife.
Hey, I'm Jill.
How's it going, Jill?
It's going.
Awesome. And we also got a little family friend here. She's been on the show before. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How
What's
y'all?
your name?
Beverly.
Beverly. Yeah.
Beverly.
And Jack
Yeah.
is Beverly's brother of another color,
Correct.
as he likes to say.
Yeah.
And we also have a new guest. This is somebody very close to me. This is my wife, Doe. How you doing, Doe?
Hello, I'm doing good.
She's never been on a podcast before,
No, I have not.
but we forced her into it. That's what you do in marriage. And and we're we're talking about a topic.
He bought me snacks.
I did buy you snacks, but
But
we're
it
talking
really wasn't
about
a forcing, it was a coercing.
right. It wasn't really even much of a forcing. We're talking about a topic that she really enjoys. Which, Jack, what are we talking about?
Well, I'll just say that this is going to be a strange episode.
Are there stranger things?
I mean, some things are stranger.
Yeah. But this show is what we're talking about. We're going to talk about the final season of Stranger Things. So stick around and let's hit that intro.
Down and down the rabbit hole. Just how deep does it go? Where it stops, nobody knows. So let's go down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole. Down and down the rabbit hole.
So this one's been everywhere. It's still everywhere. I still see
Yeah.
all kinds of TikTok posts, Instagram posts about this. There's still some people out there that think there's going to be another secret episode or something.
Not the
wild.
secret episode.
Yeah, that was the dumbest thing.
It was supposed to come out 1 week and then
Performing
2
game.
weeks after.
Yep, yep.
It's
But this
like
was
Jesus coming back or something.
yeah.
Just waiting.
Vecna returns.
waiting.
Actually, they're going to record it in another 3 years.
Yep,
No, it should be 11 years.
There you go.
yep. And then Jim Carrey will be Will Byers, and Eminem will be 11.
I've
You guys
that.
see all those
I've seen-
pictures?
yes, I have.
But probably the most anticipated television event, maybe of all time. It's close. I mean, what would beat it? It definitely surpassed Game of Thrones. It definitely surpassed
Bridgerton.
Oh my god!
I think it got Bridgerton beat.
That's not
For
even a
me, it's on the
contest.
same level as Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Do you think that all of society was up in arms about anticipating Game of Thrones stuff as much as they were about season 4 of Stranger Things, season 5 of Stranger Things?
There was a lot of people.
I mean, I
were
know
aware of
that,
and they
but-
still talk about that. And I guess it depends on what you mean by this too, because there are still, if you just mean like people anticipating and waiting for it, there's that, and then there's also, so there are still endings to shows that people still talk about to this day.
Sure. And I think this
and-
will be one of those too.
Yeah,
Um,
and it may be a different kind of a
for
way
good,
because
for good, or for worse. You know what I'm saying?
because I knew you.
Oh God. Okay. But so I think the fandom around Stranger Things was greater than the fandom around Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones has a gigantic fandom. Don't get me wrong, but I think that there is a much broader fandom for Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, it was 19.3 million viewers to watch the finale of Game of Thrones, and there was 31.5 million views for the finale of Stranger Things.
I think part of that is because
Oh, what was Game of Thrones total?
19
19.3 million,
And how much was Stranger Things? 33?
31.5 million.
but I think part of that has to do with how many years it's been on.
That's true. And
There's
also
been
a
people are
preceding
waiting.
amazing season.
Right.
Like
Other people, but other shows, you have to be watching that show as it's coming out, essentially. I mean, unless you come back later to watch it. But this one, people have been watching it because the seasons are so spread out that other people are finding it and getting caught on over time.
Yeah.
Versus when it happens for other shows, it's sometimes after the fact.
Right.
When I think the cast was so young, everyone became invested because they watched the kids grow up.
Grow up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Absolutely.
When did everybody jump into Stranger Things? Like
Beginning.
here. You watched it during like when season 1 came out?
I jumped in season 2.
Yeah, I
They-
think we tried to watch it when it first came out. And
You were scared of it.
yes, and then I didn't start watching it again until right before season 2 started, and we went back and watched the first one. I just had to get over the first episode. The first like 10 seconds of the episode where everyone's running from the Demogorgon and the guy gets like taken up in the elevator. I did not appreciate that the first time through. And now I'm fine.
Let me say, I don't know that I watched it as soon as it came out,
No.
but it was before season 2 came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was going to say.
I watched in between also.
I think you and I started around the same time, Buck.
I
we were talking
can't
about
remember. I can't remember. I know that people at church were talking about how good it was, and I was like, I'll give it a chance. And then I started to watch it, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me at first. And then I heard people talk about it again, so I was like, I'm gonna binge the first season and just determine from there because it was only 8 episodes, I think that first season was, and which was a new concept at the time. Even Game of Thrones at that time was longer. I think it was like 10 or 12 episodes, not by much, but
I know that we definitely we had watched it before either of us had ever even gotten into D&D.
Yep.
So-
That is 100% true. I actually, so I was on staff at a church at the time, and I actually I binge watched it in the green room for the worship team. Like, I don't remember why I was there, but I stayed at the church for a while. I connected my computer to like this really big TV monitor that we had, and I just turned the lights off, and I was alone in that church watching Stranger Things. And I was like, okay, these people are right. This is great. I don't think I finished the whole thing there, but I watched like 6 episodes, and then I finished it like the next day.
So, who's everybody's favorite character? I want to know that much.
Nancy Wheeler.
Nancy.
That's an odd choice.
Nancy Walk 'em Down Wheeler.
That's an odd choice.
Just not what I was expecting. But hey, you do you. What about you, Buck?
Will's my favorite character. Strangely
I will
enough.
say
I
Will was
knew
my
it.
favorite. I will say Will was my favorite of season 5, but mine definitely changes with the season.
I think that could be true. What about you, Jill?
Steve is my favorite.
Steve is my
I do
overall.
love
Harry, too.
Steve.
Steve is my overall favorite, but I hated him in the first season.
Oh, but he has such a
'Cause he
good
was
character
douchey.
arc.
No,
Yeah.
that's why I say I didn't like him in the first
Yeah.
season, but overall,
I think that's
he's my-
intentional.
He's my favorite.
And Dustin and Eddie, the whole Motley crew.
Yeah.
How can you choose a favorite?
I liked I really liked 11, I think, in the first season. But I always like the ones with powers. So
True. And Erica's always gonna be my girl.
Oh yeah, Erica's a close second.
Erica is really
The great.
Can't spell America without Erica.
but she doesn't really come in really until later.
Like season
Yeah,
3.
season
I think.
2.
Yes.
Season 2.
Okay.
Mm.
Go ahead.
Because we rewatched it before season 5 came out, and I didn't realize she actually came into season 2, but she's bullying Lucas in a scene in like episode 1 in season 2, and I was like, dang, I don't think I realized she was in this early.
But she didn't have. But she wasn't like.
It was
didn't
a
have
much
a major
smaller
role.
Right. She didn't take on like a big role at that point.
Yeah, it was when they were taking pictures of his Ghostbusters
Oh, the
Oh,
Halloween,
Halloween
yeah.
outfit. She's like, "You look like
Season-
a nerd."
Season 3 is whenever she really like came into it
Picks
because
up.
they used her to go
Yep.
through the tunnels and stuff
Yeah.
like that under the mall. And
The air ducts.
yep, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I was meaning to say.
And
I
Lucas,
think
but Lucas becomes a much better character. I feel like over the seasons, but it's that last season, I feel like he really
Yeah,
hit a
Blossom.
high. Yeah.
Lucas
Kinda came into his
historically
own.
has probably been my least favorite character.
Racist.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
absolutely.
why? Because he black.
Yeah, I hate black people. You know that.
I really
Oh,
liked him
yeah.
in season 4. He was kind of a jerk in the first 2 seasons. You know,
Yeah, season
Yeah.
season
He was
1,
supposed to
he
be,
is
but-
detestable. Like I'm like, I get it. He's a kid, but I'm like, he is a super douche in season 1. And
No, I was going to ask you a question. Go ahead.
What?
I want you to finish. I was going to ask you. So, would you say like of the good character, of the characters you're supposed to kind of like, would you say he's your least favorite?
yes. Yeah. Though I agree with you, he significantly gets better in season 4 and 5.
Mhm.
What about y'all? Who's your least? Not your least favorite. Like, who's the person you hate?
I got a
And then
feeling
you
we're gonna
name a
have some.
villain.
I got a feeling we're gonna have some Mike haters in this group.
I'm not gonna say I hate anybody, but
They characters, they not real.
What was Robin's little girlfriend name? She got on my nerve.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
What was her name? I don't remember.
I
her
can't
name.
Anne with
remember.
the E.
See how disposable she is.
Yeah.
Anne
She got on my
with the
nerves.
E. That was her name.
Yeah,
so it's supposed to be like a play on Anne of Green Gables. or
I'm gonna
whatever?
look it up.
That's what
That's
she
who
played
she
that
played.
character.
Oh, she
Like-
was. Oh,
That
that's
actress.
not a real. That's not her name.
I didn't really. I watched the first
I didn't watch the
episode.
show. I watched the original movies. but I
me
know
me
she
and
was-
90% of other men in America have not
Yeah.
watched that show.
I've
That's
watched the
fair.
first episode, not anything past it, but that was the actress that played her.
Anne of Green
Um,
Gables is not exactly the.
Vicky. Her name was Vicky.
Vicky.
Oh, Icky Vicky. Listen, I'm not a big. I don't really care much for Mike, to be honest with you. But whenever Max came in, I didn't care for Max. And yeah, I didn't like her when she came in. And that kind of carried over. And maybe because the group, not all didn't like her at one point. You know what I mean? They kind of
Mhm.
felt,
Mhm.
and
she-
maybe I felt like she was the Yoko of the group. Like and if y'all know
Throwing
who
off
what,
the-
that's
yeah.
Yoko Ono. She broke, they blame her for breaking up the Beatles.
Throwing off the
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. And I kind of felt like the vibe was thrown off when she came in. Are you singing like Yoko?
Yeah.
I thought there was a dog that got.
I did too.
If you've ever heard Yoko, you would have thought that too. I'm gonna go on a limb and say I think everybody loves Dustin,
Yeah. Dusty
Mm.
Buns.
not Dusty Buns.
And I also love Susie Poo.
Yeah. But what happened to Susie Poo?
Yeah, that was a
season
critique
5?
of mine. That's a critique of mine. Her
Like
and
she was an
Argyle.
intricate part of saving the world, and then season 5, y'all just kick it to the curb.
Her and
And-
Argyle are just not there.
And that doctor, what was that doctor's name that was in season 4? I'm trying to find him.
Papa?
No, not Papa, the other
You're
one.
talking about the nice doctor. my God,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
his name?
the one that was helping them.
Dr. Owens.
Yeah, he is in season 5 somewhere, but it's very fleeting. Very fleeting. I think.
Are you sure?
I feel.
Yeah, they like think back, and don't they like think back? And
I
he's-
want to say he's like witnessing something or something
Yeah.
like that.
We sure it wasn't
Oh.
fleeting on the cutting room floor?
Hang on.
Yeah, apparently they cut out Max's mom. Apparently she had scenes. Did y'all see that news article about
I
that?
did see that,
Mhm.
That kind of stuff happens. Like,
which sucks.
Um,
The kind of they could have at least shown her at the graduation.
yeah,
Let's talk. Let's get in. Let's kind of unpack this final
No,
episode.
Dr.
We
Sam
never
Owens
finished talking about our least favorite characters.
is not in season 5, so I was wrong.
Oh, did you tell us your least favorite?
I didn't.
Who it is?
Mine's a hot take. My least favorite is Will.
Because he's
I can't
whiny.
stand Will. He literally cries all the time. I'm like, suck it up. Suck it up.
He
That
really didn't grow
actor
up here
cried,
until season
like,
5.
On just like, you probably blow on him and he cries. Just,
I mean,
Well, he'll at least get goosebumps.
drugged to the upside down. He got drugged to a
I
whole
mean,
new
I get
realm.
that he has trauma, but I mean,
But you're
does he
right.
have more than 11?
Probably not.
That tracks for Jill because Jill hates whiny characters, which honestly I do too because I don't like whiny people in real life, and so that does track. But her least favorite or one of her least favorite characters in Star Wars is Luke because he's so whiny.
Annoying.
That's Bug's favorite.
But I was going into Toshi Station to pick up some power converters.
Uh-huh. He's the hero.
I don't like Jonathan. Jonathan got. Oh my
Oh,
god.
I don't like
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan. I'd have been okay
was
if Jonathan
annoying.
died.
Yeah.
Somebody needed to go.
Somebody.
Yeah, I think Jonathan and Murray and yeah, Murray
Don't get rid of Murray.
Murray could have died.
Murray was a comedic relief at all.
I think
love
Vicky
Murray.
could have died.
Yeah, somebody
Okay,
should have took her to
First
the
of all,
Great
y'all naming the low hanging fruit that nobody cared about, except for Murray.
Like Murray.
No. I said except for Murray. I think people would have
Okay.
cared more about Murray than daggum Jonathan dying. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nah.
Jonathan really didn't add a whole lot.
Who Vicky? She brand new. Nobody care.
Right.
Well, that's kind of my point. I think a lot.
Right.
I think,
They could have died
think
because
the,
they weren't important.
I think that the deputy that became sheriff could have died, but he was strangely absent from the season 2.
People cared about Alexei dying, and he was only in there for one season in a couple episodes.
right? I
Yeah.
didn't really care about Alexei.
I loved Alexei.
And I was sad when
He
Bob
was cute.
died. I was real sad.
Smearing
when
off.
Yeah, Bob dying too. Yeah.
That was tragic.
Oh,
Yeah,
in the
but
youth season?
But that goes for the character. I mean, you can make a character in one season that people care about, but those characters it wasn't just because they were new, it was just because I mean, Jonathan had been there from the beginning, but nobody really cares about Jonathan. And that's why I'm like, they're kind of low hanging fruit. because they're
Jonathan in
just not great
season 1
characters.
is significantly better than any other season for him.
Yeah. I think that's probably true.
It feels like his role in the rest of this TV series is to be Nancy's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I felt like they could have done a lot more with him.
Who else thought that was a weird pairing when it started? Just me.
They were trauma
Oh,
bonded.
No, yeah.
I was more invested in Jonathan in season 1 and less invested in Steve in season 1, but then in season 2 that flipped.
Yeah.
Because I liked where they kind of landed it. Like Steve redeemed himself and became a much better guy at the end of the season. And then all of a sudden, no, sexual tension. So this one guy is going to be like, hey, you guys can engage in underage sex in my house. I'm going to encourage that. That's creepy. And because they were like 16, 17 in season 2. I think they were supposed to be junior. No, they were they seniors in season 4? So yeah, season 2, they'd have been sophomores in high school. Because they didn't graduate until, like, they were talking about colleges in season 4. So they had to be like 16 years old. And they had to be like 15. And also nobody talks about Nancy just being like, okay, I'm going to sleep with these 2 guys in this season. And nobody else does that, by the way. Yeah, it's that was frustrating.
And there was never any justice for Barb.
Poor
I'm gonna
Barb.
tell y'all something. This is actually, I truly do believe this way. I blame this show as much as I love the show. I blame this show for Mullets coming back because it was after Billy that they
Yeah.
started to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I hate to tell everybody, not everybody is him. Not everybody's Billy.
No.
Not everybody can look like what's his name?
Dacre
Dacre
Montgomery.
Not everybody can look like him with a mullet. I don't know what to tell y'all. He's
It's funny
like a
because
modeling actor.
I don't. When I think of that guy, even though this is the biggest thing he's been in, I don't think of Stranger Things. I think of
think of
Power
Power
Rangers.
Rangers.
Yes. Because he played the Red Ranger in the Power Ranger
He
movie
did.
remake.
He did.
Not a good movie.
Not
but,
a good movie.
But he was probably the best part of the movie. And but yeah, I loved that character.
Billy.
Yeah, I loved Billy's character.
You liked Billy?
I did.
I liked Billy
He
too.
was a jerk.
No,
Well, he was supposed to be.
but he played his role well.
Hey,
And then
name
at the end of it all, he still became a hero.
Doe, do me a favor. Name your favorite Disney characters.
And
I
you
feel like
better
I'm
say
being set up
Bambi.
in a trap.
You are. It's a trap.
Name them. I want you to name them
That
for the
was a Star
audience.
Wars reference.
Name them.
Princess or character?
No,
He
just
just said
period.
character.
Period.
That's hard.
Yzma,
Yzma.
Ursula,
Ursula.
The villains.
Mother
The
Gothel.
villains. The villains. And she's getting on to me for liking Billy.
Oh, villain. Singular.
But
I
I do.
like Vecna. I don't like Billy. I do
I
like
like Vecna
though.
too. Vecna's
I
awesome.
do understand. I
Henry.
understand what she's saying because he wasn't just a villain. He was a jerk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's.
he was. It was cool.
Kind of one dimensional, I think.
I mean, that's another thing for Jill. She likes a villain with a backstory as to.
Well, we got that
And-
with. He was a minion. I don't
Yeah,
need
he
backstory
made a
for that.
bunch of people turn
But
into like mush
however,
goo.
We
was
did get a
gross.
backstory in season 3 with Billy.
That's true. It had to do with his dad. His dad was abusive.
Yeah, like we got all like
Yeah.
That is true. I'll
11,
give him that.
11 going through all of his memories
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
But I can also say, like Billy can also could be like a Dolores Umbridge, who's just a mean person.
Yeah.
Even before they become like a villain, you know, they're just an a-hole.
Sometimes that's satisfying. You get what I'm saying? Like it's not. If that was the way the big bad was, I think I wouldn't be happy with that.
Yeah,
But he
I mean, don't
wasn't
get me
even
wrong. I don't like Dolores Umbridge, but I love to hate Dolores Umbridge.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. But also, there's more to Billy than there is to Dolores Umbridge, like significantly more. Like I feel like there is depth to that character, because you see him kind of go through fear whenever he's initially getting like approached by the Mind Flayer, and then you see this weird protective dynamic with Max, but also this hatred dynamic with Max, which is extremely complex. And then all of a sudden, when he is possessed by the Mind Flayer and becomes part of the hive mind, you see an internal battle. But he loses it more and more as the season goes on. And then finally, at the end of season 3, he essentially saves 11.
So if you've not watched the show, obviously there's spoilers.
If we say we're talking about season 5, I'm assuming they're gonna expect spoilers.
But
We might need to put spoilers in the title.
But now, mind you, when I say that, I'm not saying that that's necessarily how I feel. I'm just trying to maybe verbalize for Doe, or like put some credence to what she was saying, or give reasons to back her up, because you know I don't want her to feel like you attacked her with talking about who's your favorite Disney characters, and she had her out there on that island by herself.
I love you.
Let me just paddle out there to you, Doe, and come give you some support.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I will. Okay, so this season got a lot of people loved it, and there was a lot of people anticipating it. I think when there's a lot of anticipation like that is why there's a lot of hate that comes with things like that. People build it up in their minds as to what they expect, and there's no way to really fulfill what everybody expects. You can't meet everybody's expectation.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and there were so many fan theories going around that you didn't know what to expect yourself, because you've heard so many other theories about what could happen, and it was interesting to watch.
Yeah, that's true. Because by the time that it come out, you could be watching things, but oh, that's true. Oh, but this is also true, and you don't know what to expect at this point.
Hmm.
I will say, I think that it was a decent. I'm not going to say a good season, a good ending,
Because
but
there's been better.
right. But it was a decent. It's like,
Season 5 we're talking about?
yeah,
Mhm.
I might want steak, but I'm satisfied with with a thick burger, with a good burger. And that's kind of how I feel. It might not be necessarily the best, but I'm okay with it.
Well, let's do this. Let's get to let's kind of save our thoughts on the ending, like the final episode for the end, and let's do this. Give a other than the ending, other than the way that last episode went. What do you guys feel like was the strongest thing of season 5? And I feel like this is probably going to be a unanimous moment, but tell me what you think.
Will getting powers. That was for me anyway. It like changed the whole trajectory of
Yeah.
what was going on in battle.
Well, y'all go ahead.
I would
Now,
agree
Jack,
with
if you got
that was a
something
good. That was
different.
a good moment.
Oh, for people, for listeners and viewers, Jill was nodding, and I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Jill's agreeing, but you guys could not have possibly known that. So
Yeah, I would
What-
agree. I would agree with that. I think that was probably one of the best moments of the season.
I think it was one of the best
It was
moments of the
epic.
series.
Yeah.
So funny
I
thing
know.
for me, the best moment of the entire series. That's the best moment of the entire series, and also the season has the worst moment of the entire series.
I would agree.
Happened to deal with the same character.
And I'm sure I know what it is.
So what?
'Cause
Cause we left Doe out. I want to hear. I want to hear what she's got to say because y'all were naming.
So, I mean, I would agree. I like the Will scene, but also, I got to see the first Shadow on Broadway over the summer, and so all of the little tidbits that they added into the first couple episodes that tied into that, like the Oklahoma flyer and them in the school, and then all the little bits that they had from the Broadway show into season 5, I really geeked out over, and I was really excited about.
I
But
haven't
not-
seen that, so I can't.
Yeah,
really
not
speak to
everyone has seen it, so you wouldn't
Yeah.
know. But those who have, but
Maybe
I
she
really
forced
enjoyed
you.
that.
because that's what you do in a marriage.
Mhm.
So you really enjoyed like the nod to the musical or the
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 stage.
stage, the stage show, yeah.
Excuse me, the stage show. The pieces that were brought in from that.
Hmm.
I thought that was a really good with Will getting his powers. I really thought it was powerful. It was, but if it had not have happened, I wouldn't have known to not care. But I think it could have been just as powerful of a season without it if the other things had happened. But I would say, yeah, it was probably the most
Yeah.
prominent, but I don't necessarily think it was necessary either.
So let me kind of qualify my feelings on it. So Will has been my favorite character since season 2. Because I developed the theory in season 2 that Will was going to have powers. And now, for better or for worse, because I don't know how in the world Noah Schnapp got in. He got like a Golden Globe or an Emmy or something like that. Not Emmy. Grammy. No, Emmy. Emmy's right. For his acting in season 2. Because his acting in season 2 is really freaking good. And then somehow, whenever we got to season 4, it just stopped being good. And season 5, he's not a good actor either. I don't know what happened. But my feelings for the character had already been cemented. And I got that he was whining. I got that. And I kind of felt like I bought into his reasons for being like that, because essentially 2 super developmental years were taken away. And I was like, after season 2, I was like, I'm tired of 11 being always the hero. I got that she was the one with, sorry. I got that she was the one with some telekinetic powers and everything like that. And I was like super satisfied with that in season 1, and I was fine with season 2, but I was like, if they make her be the hero again, I'm just gonna be irritable about it. And they didn't in season 3 because I was like, okay, they're humbling her because it took her powers away at the end of season 3, and I loved that. I didn't want her to stay that way, but all right, she gets her powers back in a pizza shop freezer, and has Dream War with the villain and beats the crap out of the villain.
Not Dream War.
So my biggest qualm with the entirety of the series is that the party should have had a much larger role in the fight.
I can see that.
It wasn't really a fight.
Yeah,
Can we call it a fight? That was more of a scuffle.
You talking about that last one?
Mhm.
It was way too short because she fights Vecna for like almost the entirety of an episode in season 4.
In season 4.
But even with the mind flayer spider, whatever, I feel like they defeated it way too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It should have been the whole episode, really, or at least it should have lasted.
Of it.
It should
They
have.
needed another episode probably,
Yeah.
but
So whenever Will, like, I'm already thinking Will should have a moment where he's been so affected by everything that's happened to him that he should get something because of it, especially now that we know that 11 only has powers. Now, you guys might not know this. 11 only has powers because of Vecna. Did you guys know that?
Yes,
I did explain that in the movie, in the show.
they did.
Mhm.
Because remember, at the end, she was trying to commit suicide to end the whole.
Yeah, but did they actually say that 11 has telekinesis because she was injected with Vecna's
His blood.
Vecna.
Yeah, they did.
I couldn't remember if they did or not because they show that that's what's happening in
The
First
labs.
Shadow.
Yeah.
In
Bugs are
First
here like,
Shadow.
I'm going to
The
say
First
something
Shadow.
maybe you guys don't know, but I
That's not what I was trying to do. But, I couldn't remember honestly. But so all that being said, it made sense. Like, it made sense for Will to have powers,
you
and
just didn't know that he was gonna save the day with Super Gay.
with Super Gay, yeah. All right, okay. Not to mention that's for me the best moment of the entire series. However, that scene leading up to it is one of the best scenes of the entire series. Also, especially whenever Vecna freaking pipe vines that one guy in the face and they come out of his eyes and mouth.
That was too much for me.
That was real gruesome.
I did not
But
appreciate
I'm gonna
that.
be honest.
was-
I rewind it to see it.
It was
again.
just on the like, if it had gone further and he like maybe like ripped his head apart or something like that, I'm like, all right, you crossed the line. But it was just right there at the line. I was like, this is good. This is good. It's not so gory that I'm like, "Huh, I'm gonna throw up. But it was like me to go. It was enough for me to go, oh my god! But whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
And Vecna just coming out of that portal, the gate, and just decimating everybody.
Well,
it
that
was-
one scene took them like a month to film.
Yeah.
It took 2 weeks of practice and then like 3 weeks of actual like filming, which is insane.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
It was epic though.
All right, so let's talk about that negative scene, guys.
The one you just named
Mhm.
a little bit ago.
When I said
Yeah,
Because we already know.
so,
As per
closet.
usual, Will
Why- yeah,
always
why-
doing too much.
Too much. Because why was that necessary? Honey,
did
we
not need
figured
to
out
have
you
that
didn't
whole-
like girls
wasn't.
back in season 2 when you was crying about them having girlfriends.
and Mike says we can't help it that you don't like girls.
yeah. But I
Like-
feel like
Flat out.
I personally feel like that could have been ambiguous, and I think they should have left Will's sexuality ambiguous.
I
It didn't
agree.
matter. It didn't play any
Yeah.
sort of
I think they
major
should
role in them.
they should
beating
have-
Vecna or
they should have let the
succeeding.
audience decide for themselves what he was.
We didn't
and-
care. We did
Exactly.
not care.
Exactly. But
Listen.
for the people who did care, it could have left it in the dark enough where like, well, I think he's gay. So I'm gonna believe that he's gay.
I think
but-
it could have had a lot more intrigue that way. They already heavily hinted to it, especially last season when he over there crying over Mike.
Yeah.
Mike with a wedge face, but he over there full on balling for this boy, and we knew. We got it. We got what y'all was hitting at, Duffel Brothers.
He said, like he was in love with one of them. Like we didn't know who it was.
Yeah, and in the scene in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all knew. Like I mean, I think even Mike realized at that point when he's like, I have a crush on somebody, and I know it can't happen. So,
and he did. They kind of addressed it when they were on the radio tower.
I bet you
to the abyss.
I bet you all the people that wanted it to happen were like, he's gonna break up with Elle right here and go with and I was like, that was so dumb.
We knew better.
But I think I know that it would have pissed a lot of people off, but I think it would have been a better show if they were kind of going in a direction of, we're going to make him look gay, and then all of that tension that he was crying about was really that he was holding back the whole thing with his powers because he thought that he was wrong because of it. Because you get all these flashbacks up to that power moment and all the things that seem to kind of define Will. And then he kind of accepts himself, right? And that's all we needed. We didn't need another self-revelation moment for Will. And I'm saying that with him as my favorite character. And but that freaking, I have to tell you guys my gayness or else we'll lose
really
scene.
So dumb.
I've got something I need to tell all of you.
I really do not. And I guarantee you they would deny this, but I do not believe that Will was ever supposed to be gay until Noah Schnapp came out as gay after season 3. I think that even the script where we were kind of like, oh, are they going that way with it? I do not believe he was supposed to be. I think Noah Schnapp wanted him to be because he's gay, so they made him gay.
Why he call everybody in there? He called
Right.
in there.
Like
You
Vecna's just holding
met
this
her.
whole gay
Why you
thing
need to
over
know
his
your
head.
sexuality.
I guess because she was there.
What'd you say, Jill?
Like Vecna's holding this whole gay thing over his head
Yeah.
or something. Like that's holding him back. Like
I'm gonna
Vecna's
take
gonna
your
tell everybody I'm gay. Like,
the way
it's so
Jamie
stupid.
Campbell Bowers plays Vecna in season 3, like Henry, like as
Yeah.
one in season 3, I would think that he was gay.
Yeah. I would have thought too.
However, he clearly isn't based on the play, because in the play he kind of has a thing for a girl. And
Bob's sister,
yes, Bob's stepsister.
Patty
Could've-
Newby.
he could have been bi.
Yeah, bis exist apparently.
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 Well, I saw a thing on TikTok or Twitter or something that Hopper was not in that conversation with Will whenever he was telling everybody. Hopper wasn't in that room.
Wasn't he in the Upside Down?
Was he?
No,
I
I
think-
don't know. Maybe not.
I think he would. Was he not?
Because Elle was there.
Elle was
yeah,
there.
she was. Because she talking about, I'm always
I
gonna
don't
be
think
here for you.
I don't
Girl,
think
you just said
Murray
you
was
gonna
there
kill
either, though,
yourself.
was he?
Well, no. But Murray, this season, Murray was hardly ever there. Like he showed
Yeah.
up with the truck. He was not like he was
Yeah.
a major part of.
I thought Murray was gonna sacrifice himself to blow that freaking helicopter up.
I did too at one point. And I thought, hey, that's good, but not because
No
I
one
don't
died.
like
Hey, that's good.
not because I don't like him. I just thought it would have been like a heroic moment for him. And
Stakes. It would have been stakes.
Yeah.
Like, I think so. Okay. I would have been crazy upset if Steve died. Not to mention, like, it just wasn't the proper choice for it. But if Nancy or Jonathan or Joyce, if any of those characters died, I think I'd have been fine. I'd
So
have been okay.
I saw online where people were like, the only thing that would have been better when he like fell and Jonathan caught him is like when they panned up and it was Eddie and he had big bat wings. Everybody so bad wanted him to be a vampire from those upside down bats.
Yeah, I'd have been fine with Eddie coming back. I think it'd have been cool. But
Wouldn't
they
have made
didn't
sense.
they didn't give us Barb back, and
And Chrissy.
We
Or
could have done
Fred.
without Barb.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Chrissy,
Chrissy didn't wake up.
yeah,
Chrissy, wake up.
there. I want to say that, and I don't know how true this is, but in season 4, after the season ended, I know a lot of people were saying that the Duffer Brothers had said that the Demobats would not ever kill anybody. I never saw that statement, but I saw people say they said that quite a lot.
Mm.
So if they did say that, then I can understand. And but with the direction they went with Dustin, I don't think it would have made Dustin's story worth it, because the stairwell scene where he's like, whenever Steve is trying to go up to the top of the lab in the upside down, and he breaks down and he's like, not you. And they just had a physical like fist fight and everything. He's like, not you. I can't take it. That was also one of the best scenes of the series.
I was gonna say that's better. That was a better and more poignant scene than the coming out of the closet scene.
Oh, it was way better than the coming out of the closet scene. I've seen people praise that coming out of the closet scene, and I cannot understand it, because the vast majority of the internet thinks that it's dumb, and
I've seen gay people say it was dumb.
Yeah, it was not an appropriate time, and you cannot overcome evil with the power of your homosexuality or your heterosexuality.
Right, they go on into battle, and you talking about you like
It's your
boys.
whole identity.
Like, it would be equally as stupid.
Sadly, it is for people.
Yeah,
and
it would be
that's
equally
what
as
they base
stupid
that
if
on.
like if I know they didn't do this, but let's imagine that Jonathan and Nancy decided to stay together, and they're like, oh, to overcome Vecna, we have to get married. It'd be just as dumb as that. You know what I'm saying? Because it has nothing to do with it. And so yeah, I hate it. Like, again, the season had, for me, my favorite scene of the series, but also my least favorite scene of the series.
One of my favorite things that I've seen was they're showing that scene, and it's him saying, I don't like girls. And they cut to a scene from Medea, one of the Medea movies. And that's what you had to say? We already knew that.
Yeah.
I
We
saw
know
that
that
this
since she was a
morning.
little boy.
That was fun.
You guys want to talk about me being gay? Baby, we've been talking about that for years. We all knew that. We all talked about it. We all knew.
Yep.
That's how we felt. I think
But not
that's
to
how
mention,
America felt.
For
we
real.
didn't. So
From
we
the bottom of
already
our hearts.
we already got that scene in this series. It wasn't quite as amped up. Well, we got the coming out scene in Stranger Things with Robin,
Yeah.
and it was a way better scene, significantly better scene. I mean, am I as a believer ever going to prefer scenes like that? No. However, I could actually feel that scene because the tension made sense. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
Steve.
will always support you and hug.
Yeah.
It was so cliche.
Yeah. It was forced.
overdone.
It was
forced.
It was way forced.
It was shoehorned in, is what it was.
Yeah.
It was an added in scene. But you know what? They could have took up some of that daggum time with more fighting.
I
Heck, they
think
could-
it wouldn't have even been as bad if they had done it at the beginning of the season. They saved it for right smack dab in the middle of the last episode.
right
when we're,
before battle.
Right. That just didn't even make sense.
But
That
I
was
feel like it
wrong.
really takes away from the sorcerer reveal. Like, I
Mm,
really do. Like,
yeah.
because you
Yeah.
have this whole big buildup where something's wrong with Will. We know something's wrong with Will. He's really quiet all the time. He always acts super timid. He always acts like he's got severe anxiety. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, he's got powers. And maybe he's known this the whole time, but nope. The next, like 2-3 episodes later, we gotta be like, but wait, there's more.
That's not the
And-
only power I have, guys.
Yeah.
I have the power of slay.
Slay girl, slay.
Sashay away, Vecna.
All right, let's kind of transition from the
wants
the
to
Will
transition.
thing. Yeah, he does. Well, maybe not.
That was a joke.
Maybe
He probably
not.
don't.
He probably prefers
wasn't
that
trained.
masculine.
This
look.
was the 80s. It was.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's true. Drag was a thing in the 80s, maybe, wasn't it?
drag, but trans was much less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Much
RuPaul
less
was real big in
accepted.
the 80s. Like,
Yeah.
was getting his.
Okay. Let's talk about the other scene that everybody complains about, which is between Max and
Oh my gosh!
And
The
the little girl
podcast
Holly.
scene.
Holly.
First off,
Holly. Yeah.
before we talk
Oh.
about this, before we hit that, where the heck Holly come from? Why is she so important?
She's
She
always
ain't
been there.
She's been there, but she ain't been important until all of a sudden the last
She really
season.
wasn't until she got snatched up.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden now
But
she got
Will
an
wasn't
invisible
important till he got
friend.
snatched up.
That
Yeah,
one.
but that was the start of the story.
I think this
It
is.
didn't
This,
bother me though.
But
I
but
enjoyed Holly. I enjoyed
Jack,
Holly's
wasn't
role.
it you that told me that role may have been originally written for Erica, but she was too old for it or something?
That's how
I
I
can see
feel.
that.
That's how
Yeah.
I feel. I feel like it was probably meant for Erica, but because by the time they got to it, she was too old, and so they had to.
For it to be
Because the girl
believable.
that plays Erica's like in her 20s, also, right?
She's 19.
Oh, so close, really close.
Yeah.
I'm not completely
wrong, guys.
what? Sometimes you should just keep your mouth shut.
That's what I think about you.
From the mountains of Caucasus.
From the mountains of Caucasus.
You talking about the one where they're about to walk through the like
Yeah.
The
portal?
portals.
Oh my
Yes.
lord!
No.
5 business days later,
For real.
it's ridiculous.
Let's hold hands and spin in a circle and tell each other we love each other. No, girl, you're strong and you can do it. Lord.
I
Well, and
just feel
she
like
drugged that poor girl all the way through all those memories just to leave her there. Like, really?
Right?
That's true. That part is
Right?
true.
She took her all the way, and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, you can't go.
You leave. You stay
Right.
here.
This is my
Yeah.
portal.
I'm running.
Find your own."
I think that that scene going on for so long was absolutely intentional to make us all have anxiety.
And piss us off? Because it did just that. It did.
It doesn't bother me that much. I think it did go on too long, but like them talking didn't really bother me that much. I will say it bothered me more that she had to tell her, "Oh, well, you got to find your own way out."
Mm-hmm.
Though she did immediately find her own way out.
Doe had something to say, but she didn't say it. She leaned in. She was like, "Never mind."
She
But,
found her way back to hell.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Can you imagine
With them
coming? Yep, that and
lines
then
in the
you
mouth.
then you go fall through that portal and you think you found a way out of Dimension X or the abyss, and all of a sudden you're falling to your death.
And then she gets snapped back mid-fall.
I knew the way they ended that episode, somebody wasn't making it out, though.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was going to be Max again. But
I believe that the reason Holly is so important and such a big figure is because the spinoff series is going to be her and her friends.
I told you that.
Mm.
They,
Yeah, I
they
agree
said it
with
wasn't
you.
going to
I
be the same
agree with
characters.
First you said you thought it was going to be new characters.
They
Well-
said that. They said it was all new characters, all
Yeah.
new town, all new mythology.
Yeah, they said it was going to be new characters. However, they also recanted and said there's a scene that shows what it's going to be about, and if you pay attention, you'll catch it. And it's when you
It
hear
looks
that,
like
you
because
can
they're
tell
following.
the scene wherever Mike goes up the stairs and turns around and looks at Holly and her friends
Looks
playing
like-
D&D. It's going to be
it
them.
does look like it's going to be
Mm.
Derek
Chief
and
Derek.
yep.
But
They said it's going to be new characters. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense.
technically, I think the technicality is they are new characters. They were new characters that came in this season.
They said it's a new town
It might be.
and new mythology. That doesn't
Well,
make
there's
sense.
an anime.
Well, they say new
series, too,
mythology. They said
supposed to come
new
out.
decade.
No, they said
The
new
90s.
mythology, everything. Like it's a whole new world.
Not a whole new world. It's connected.
A whole new world.
It's probably not going to be the same situation. It's probably not going to be Vecna and the not Generation X and Dimension X and stuff like that. It'll probably be something like a whole new adventuring party. That's my speculation because I did read the article. It's like you see the hint to the thing, but also they did say all those things. So maybe they're trying to confuse us.
Right? Google does say it's supposed to be feature new characters, new setting, a separate mythology, and it'll still have the same universe and address some finale questions according to the creators. But it don't make sense because how you addressing finale questions if it's a new universe with different people and
So
I don't
maybe
know.
maybe it won't be like the same actors. Like
Maybe they just don't know what the hell they're talking about.
Well,
I
this
do
is
wonder-
also the animated
I do wonder
series
that.
I'm talking about too.
Like they're
It's the
just
what?
making
The
stuff
animated
up.
series.
It's tied.
The-
That's between some other.
That's between season 2 and 3.
Right. Yeah, it says this is
An animated series and untitled live action series. That will
Yeah,
feature
that's the
new
one we're talking
characters.
about. Yeah.
Well, I saw in some news
Here's a
article
book.
that one of the Duffer brothers got divorced, and his wife was the one that
I saw
helped
that.
write everything up until season 5, and that's why season 5 felt so disconnected.
And you know what?
I
She would
felt-
be
She
the first
wasn't
one I put
there.
on
So
payroll.
much sense.
because she was.
It
She's
does.
actually a writer for another show or another book series. Or something.
Really?
Yep.
Does that mean this
that would
new series is
explain a
going to suck?
lot.
Hold on. Let's do some research.
Season 3 and 4 were the best series, like the best seasons in the whole series. But
I
yeah,
would agree.
something came out with him getting a divorce, and she was the one that was helping him write it, and that's why season 5 felt so disconnected and like rushed.
That would make so much more sense because that was the
It
thing
definitely
for me. It
does.
just didn't.
Lee Janiak or Janiak. I don't know. Janiak.
She was
I
some
think-
blonde lady.
We hate
she, not one in here. Let's see. What she writes for something. Let me find what she writes for. Fear Street.
I don't know what that is.
those. I know what
And
you're talking about.
and apparently there's some similarities between stories or something. I actually saw that same thing that Doe's talking about, and they were like, they think that's what they were saying. They think that this one felt disjointed. It was a little lackluster because she
Wasn't a
was the
part of
one.
project.
Mm-hmm.
It does say she filed for divorce at the beginning of the shooting of season 5.
And they hadn't written the ending when they started filming the beginning of the season. I saw that too.
That makes a lot more
Interesting.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely does.
So the fight,
Way too short.
way.
I know
too
we
short.
said it. I know we said it.
It wasn't realistic. I mean, they had longer fight scenes in previous seasons
Yeah,
with just 11 and Vecna, but you had 11, her sister 8, you had Will with powers,
Sister
you had, of
8.
course,
The way you said that, her sister 8.
because her sister 8. No, not really. I didn't really care for her sister's character.
No, I don't think
No.
anybody wanted Collie back. I don't think anybody.
we realized.
asked for it.
Well, let me run that train back a little bit. I was glad that there was a bow put on that story arc because it was just left out there in the open. I'm glad that there was a closing to it. I didn't need her all up in there talking about I need to be there too, girl. No, you don't. And why? And then them trying to make this big dramatic death like we care. We don't. We do not. No, her name has not come up one time in this podcast because
Right.
nobody care.
Yeah, like
And her name
That-
is the same
that-
as a dog.
that closing. She should have shown up in season 3.
Kylie.
She should have shown up in season 3, shown up in season 4, and then maybe if she died in season 5, we'd have cared. So okay,
Well, people didn't like her when she originally showed up. That's why she hadn't been back.
Right.
Right.
I
But
think she
like
only was brought
said,
back.
She was going to die anyway, so what was upset about? You was
Yeah.
going to commit suicide anyhow. So
Yeah.
yeah,
But I think she was only brought back because there was this piece that's kind of floating out there.
yeah.
Although they left some other ones open, but
Okay, so did anybody have theories on how it was going to go down? How that final fight, that BBEG fight, was going to happen?
Thought more people would die.
at least somebody.
yeah, I thought somebody important.
I wanted Eddie to come
Right.
back.
you
She
so
was
you
one
went
of
on the Eddie
she was
train.
one of those. Yep.
I wanted Eddie back.
That would have been good.
I was hopeful that they were going to bring Eddie back. Not in the fight, in the battle, but just in season 5.
I think the fight
wasn't, but-
itself was really well executed. Like I liked all the fight scene. I liked the fight choreography. Like I liked everything that they did, but it was just too short.
I disagree. I feel like the fight scene was lackluster from what I expected. Like you killed Vecna by pushing him on this pointy claw rock.
Okay. So when the big
Not
tree that
wrong.
looked like a hand started turning into a spider
Why they stood there and stared at it though?
and stared at it, and then all of a sudden, Nancy Wheeler over there, Nancy Drew,
Nancy knocking down Wheeler.
okay, all of it.
Come down.
She, then she's like, I'm gonna be the target. I'm gonna be the whatever.
The bait.
Target was not the word I was looking for. It was anyway. But yeah. And so here she is running that thing on her heels, and I'm like, they might lose her right here. They could lose her right here. And it could be a big deal because they had just literally, both of these two guys talking about how great she was. They built her up
Right.
like you would do for somebody that's about to die.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing happened. Nobody died. Everybody wins.
Yep.
They threw some
When that-
nail polish remover on top of that big spider, and it crumpled up and died.
Why?
Yeah.
Can we talk real quick moment? Why did it have? I'm gonna say this.
Why to have
Just-
a vagina?
Why did it have a vagina face?
So Will could not be
OMG.
tempted by it.
Oh,
yeah,
Lord.
that's why he's so scared of him. That's why he gay. He's
You're-
seen that. He's seen
you
that in the
have
underworld.
no power
The-
here.
Whatever it's called, the upside down. Called it the underworld.
Upside down
The
frown.
underbelly.
Oh,
It was
Anyways.
just very anticlimactic.
I just
But-
knew when Dustin and doggone Steve went to the underbelly of that spider that he was just gonna sit down and squish them.
yeah.
Because
Which I'm glad that it didn't. My thought on that scenario, one person should have died in fighting the Mind Flayer. And it should have been Jonathan. Because there's a moment.
You trying to
There's-
kill him off at every time. You want him to die, come back
Right.
down.
No, there's a
again.
moment. It made sense. Whenever he sees that that Nancy's about to get caught by it, he's about
he
to
tried
run
to
out
run
there and try to
back,
save her, and
yeah.
Robin stops him. I do not think they should have made that happen. I think he should have ran out there, and she should have been about to die, and then he sacrifices himself so that she doesn't die. That's what I think should have happened. He should have died a hero.
It would have been more better than
It
what
would
happened.
would have made me care more about Jonathan. And
He's a funny looking little fella, ain't he?
mhm. he looks like a vampire. He looks like a vampire.
It depends on which version. A lot of vampires supposed to look good.
Angular face.
right, I was about to say, aren't they supposed to be attractive?
Maybe
I
alien.
mean, not always, but
I think we lost stuff on the cutting room floor or in the storyline itself because why was it a spider? Like what happened to it was a fog spider and then
Well,
it was a human glob spider and then now it's a real spider that was dead and then it needed 12 children, 12 youngins to make it alive. I don't
12
understand.
youngins.
I don't understand
Oh.
where it came. Like, how did it turn into that?
Why was it?
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
And why was it called a mind flayer?
Because it got into people's minds in season 2.
I mean, I get that, but at the same time, in real D&D, a mind flayer looks like Zoidberg.
I mean, that's true. But also in real D&D, a Demogorgon is a 2-headed
True.
giant.
That's true.
So like,
That is true as well. But
I think,
I also wondered why they called that. But
well, yeah, I mean, that's very true. Now
That's true.
the
Just
little-
what the kids called it. It's not
yeah,
what anyone else called it. It was what they called it.
it was all
Yeah.
just supposed to be like
they would have known better.
more about like the scariness of it or what it could do or whatever. So I had a theory in my head about the way that fight was going to go down, and I really think that my theory was better than what happened. And that sounds really arrogant, but I think I was so convinced as how it was going to go down that I was a little let down by the way that it did go down. And Jack, I talked to you about this. Did you think that theory would have been better?
I don't remember your theory.
Okay, so my theory was they're going to go into the abyss, and like Hopper and Joyce and the older teenagers were all going to kind of deal with like the lair, or in this case they would have been the ones fighting the Mind Flayer. And then the younger teenagers, the party, were going to go in and face off against Vecna. Like all of them, not L's gonna run and create another vagina hole and fight him solo inside of the belly of the mind flayer, and then Will just posed like he already did whenever he first got his powers, and then that was going to be how they beat him. Like they should have all gone in. So they should have all kind of had like a suit up moment.
Yeah.
Where Dustin, I also disagree with the class they gave him at the end. They gave him a bard class. He's not a bard. He's absolutely an artificer.
He's an artificer.
100%.
But I also don't. To me,
it might not have existed back then, but I would not have cared. You know what I mean?
They gave somebody else one that didn't exist then because that came out in 3, and I can't remember who it was.
I think Sorcerer didn't come out.
I think it was Sorcerer. To me, though, Will was a warlock.
Yeah,
he should have been a warlock.
But Mike should have been a fighter or a paladin, but they called Hopper the paladin at the end. If you notice that,
and he was he's a barbarian.
He's absolutely a barbarian. Joyce is not anything, but really, I don't think any of the older kids or the adults should have been a D&D class. Really,
you don't think Steve should have been?
No, not at all.
See, I could see him as like a paladin.
They're NPCs. They're important.
Joyce, I can see that is. But I feel like Steve is done too much to not be one. Maybe Nancy too. But like, Jonathan is not important.
Okay, so when we were watching the Mighty Nine campaign, you remember Bo had her little mentor monk character?
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of roles these people should have played.
I guess so, but they did a little too much. I think they were involved in some of the fight.
And that's my point. They should not have been involved in the fight. What
the heck is a zoomer?
No, yeah, that was dumb. So it should have been that Mike was a paladin or a fighter. Will was a sorcerer or a warlock. Mm-hmm. L is a wizard, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Dustin is an artificer. Lucas is a ranger because he always shoots with a slingshot.
I could also see Elle as a sorcerer just because
Elle could be a sorcerer too.
She's had it for so long; it's almost like she was born with it. Even
really, it is hers really is innate.
Yeah.
But because there's not really a wizard, like there's not really a way to be a wizard in this mythos.
Correct.
If that makes sense. But they should have
unless you were someone who sought this out and then received it.
Sure. They should have had a suit up moment where they put on quote unquote armor.
Yep.
And Dustin should have went in there with some kind of crazy techno gadget that was going to help them. And then maybe
a bard because he sang one song.
Yeah. Yeah. He could have multi-classed maybe. I don't know. But so, and then at one point they should have freed Holly mid-fight because she's a cleric. And she helps finish them off. And that should have been how it went down. They all kill him together. They bring his hit points down to 0. And then instead of Joyce coming in and hacking the crap out of him, every one of them should have taken a shot, and you get flashbacks of every single one of their trauma instead of Joyce's trauma. That's what I think should have happened. And I think it would have been a much better ending. And then maybe one of them could have died. I'm going to say if I had to pick any of the party, I don't wish any of the party would have died, but if I had to pick one, it'd have been Lucas. Because
did you say what you thought Lucas was?
Ranger.
A ranger, yeah. I've seen him. He was he considered a rogue?
I can't remember. They say all of the
they said all of them,
at the end, and I just disagreed with all of them.
I disagreed with all of them too.
And I also I think they didn't give Mike a class because he was usually the DM. However, if you pay attention in season 3, Will tries to DM as Will the Wise. So yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. because the DM doesn't have a role in the story. Really, they tell the story.
We went on a rant there that nobody else in this group really.
Well, it is very relevant too.
It is relevant. It is relevant because the whole thing is built around D&D.
The end credits was a player manual
Yeah.
for like, which was awesome, by the way. Those end credits were pretty great.
Yeah. I mean, and I like the scene where they all put their books up. It was very
Mhm.
final. It felt
But the
like a
picture was
closing.
different. The order of the books was different in the picture, guys.
um
Bev, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
what do you see where everybody's like it says, is that what you're talking about? Where everybody it's
When
really
they were trying to
saying that
convince
L
us
is
of
11 is alive.
I'm gonna be honest though.
Formigate.
For me, the ending and the secret episode and all those theories by the conspiracy theorists were 10 times better than the actual ending.
I would agree.
I think if they had had the extra episode, it actually would have made the ending make sense. If all of that, all of those theories and stuff had been true, I would have been
Yeah.
like, that was really genius. But because it wasn't, it just was like, this was definitely in my like top 5 worst series finales ever.
It was real like it felt rushed and
It
very
was.
much so lackluster.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go
wasn't-
anywhere near as far as Jill just did. I still really enjoyed it. It wasn't like the best season finale I've ever seen, but I was like Jack said, I think I was probably a little bit more satisfied than Jack, but
Yeah.
I was happy with it, but I had a lot of critiques. I thought they could have done better. And whenever I watched it, I called Jack and I told him I finished it. I really, really am satisfied. However, I feel like we could have written a better final season.
I would agree with that.
And
Let me ask y'all a question. Did we ever see graduation gowns prior to this in this?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
If we did, they were green.
Okay. I thought that somewhere in there in my memory that there was a green graduation gown.
Were you
Why
trying
are
to
they-
find pictures of it?
Yeah.
Couldn't find any.
I'm not finding it
I definitely think the school colors are green and
in white, right?
no, green, orange, and white.
Because they all look like prison uniforms, but graduation gown.
Because I think that the basketball jerseys have green, orange, and white on them.
Mm. Well, even
That's
on
what-
on the pamphlets that they're holding, they're green and white for the school for the graduation.
So does the cheerleading uniform that Chrissy died in.
I want to say there's more green on her.
It
uniform,
is.
though, right?
It's a
But the
very
basketball
it's like
jerseys
2
have
orange
more
stripes.
orange. The basketball jerseys have more orange than green. Like the letters and stuff are orange, and on the basketball jerseys, and the stripes are green. But
And
most
all-
of it's white.
Well,
Most
that's
of it's white.
that's on the school on the like if you're looking at the school, all the writings in green. There's orange stripes, but it doesn't. It looks like it's not even necessarily meant to be a color, just so much as it's just like an accent. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that didn't bother me too much. I know a lot of people got hung up on it's summertime and there's no leaves on the trees and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, there are much worse things that make it into bigger budget movies. They color graded it to feel warm rather than how they usually try to make winter feel. And I still thought that the effect of like that graduation scene was pretty good. I have one more qualm with that final episode. Does anybody else have have any more qualms?
I'm sure we do.
At least.
I also still stand by. I think Eddie Munson was named after Eddie Munster, but that's just me. What's your other qualm?
Okay. I do not think that 11's sacrifice was necessary.
Oh yeah,
That was mine too. That was my biggest one.
That's Jill's biggest one, and because we talked about a lot about. I didn't think it was either. Jill, you won't, since that was your big to do, won't you talk about that?
And not to make this like a millennial, this is my PSA or something, but I don't like that they made it okay for them to want to commit suicide. I don't like that was like, oh, well, this is a legit way, like an honorable thing for you to do is to kill yourself, and you're actually going to be saving people by doing that, because then they're not going to continue with the research. I don't know. It just felt a little wokish to me. And I'll tell you why it feels like that.
Okay.
Because recently in Illinois, they just passed a law to make it legal to do assisted suicide for terminally ill people.
That's been legal in like California for a while, though, hasn't it?
Sure, it is. Sure, I'm
It's
sure
like in a few other states. Like,
but it's
I agree
growing.
with you, though.
It's
Yeah.
growing, and I feel like they just were like, well, it's fine. Like this is a legit reason for her to kill herself.
If
And
that was supposed to be the real world like symbolism, that was very poorly communicated, though.
I don't think it was the point of it. I don't think the point
You
of
think it might just
was-
kind of make it worse?
It just felt, I don't know, it just felt wokish to me. Like, I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was pointless, like you said, because if she had died in battle, if she really had died to save them, that would have been different. I expected her to die. I didn't think she was going to live to the end. I wasn't upset because she died. Everybody else was like, y'all just want her to be alive. No, I just wanted her death to make sense.
Yeah.
This death didn't make sense.
It wasn't heroic.
It wasn't heroic.
And it
just
wasn't really a death.
and she just left them. So basically,
Yeah.
she just left them
While they
stranded.
were in a battle.
Right. She
Because the
just
battle
left
wasn't over. They went in a new battle because now the army's here. They fighting. And what happened with that? We don't know. It just ends.
and that didn't make sense either.
And there are holes in it in the explanation, because while Mike makes the connection, she should not have been able to use her powers because of the sound thing, the sound like concussion blast things. That's 100% true. She shouldn't have been. But also the explanation of Kali holding her illusion doesn't make sense either, because Kali would have been dead.
Right.
Because the
Or
explosion
getting
happened.
swept away.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
the explosion happened at the Hawkins lab in the Upside Down, right?
Right.
And
That's where she was.
he was there.
Did we ever see her go into people's mind without water?
Yes, in this season we did.
We saw it in season 2 too. Remember, she made the Mohawk
Yeah,
guy see the spiders on his
Usually there had
hands
to be
and
like some
the stuff happening with the
and
people
TVs
chasing
with
them.
white
Mhm.
noise
Okay. But there was always like some kind of a
focus.
something for her to, yeah. But she's just standing there doing it, and it didn't feel.
This didn't
it
make
feel the
sense
same.
at all.
She
I
did
didn't-
it.
I don't
She
like
did
this
it in
trick.
the hospital room with Max.
I didn't like. To me, that was a little different too. But not in the middle of a battle. You're sitting here in this
I mean,
room
that's fair.
with this
That's a
girl
fair
who's
point.
already in.
I'm just listing
in the,
that as like
you know.
there was no being assisted.
But
Yeah.
I didn't like the self-sacrificing, I need to die, even in $1 Million Baby. And this girl's, and so, and that I could even understand more because she was,
Yeah.
it-
Couldn't move anything below her neck.
paralyzed. And was like that, my life is over. I don't like the way that they did that. So in this instance, it felt even less pressing because they're still fighting. You're just like, no, it's going to continue as long as I'm here. Ooh,
And also, it was a created scenario that I felt like could have been easily fixed.
yeah.
Like they made it play out the way they had it play out simply because they wanted that to happen with
Right.
11. Like to do and one of my biggest critiques in stories, I don't like it whenever stories are like, oh, okay, farewell forever, but we don't really have a good reason for farewell forever. If anybody knows me, I was always a big fan of the Inheritance series with like Aragon and the Dragon Rider stuff, and it ends like that, and it just kind of felt like, why did it end this
Why?
way? Like it, you could have easily just been like, yeah, we're gonna just stay over here and we'll work through the problems. But no, this problem's too big for me to even attempt to try.
So the Duffer
And-
brothers said that there was never going to be an ending with 11 in it, then kill her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then
Let
just
her
kill her.
actually die in a heroic way. She's been saving the day, like you got already mentioned. She's been saving the day since season 1. Let that be a
She should have died killing Vecna.
or
Mhm.
or she should have been the one that severed the connection from Dimension X to
Sure.
our world. She could have stayed on in the abyss and ripped apart the Upside Down somehow.
So do you
And-
think that they anticipated that people were going to be pissed off by that, and so they tried to give you the whole, but maybe she's not really alive. I mean, really dead. And they're all like, "Oh, I believe, I believe, I believe." Do you think that was why they gave that whole scenario? Because what's her name, Sadie Sink, who
Mhm.
plays Max, is on like in real life said, "I don't believe she's alive."
That's funny.
Do you think that is the reason? So is it to kind of cover their bases? Some people thought that she needed. Some people thought, but they're not going to like that. So we're going to give them both, and
Just
people
to
can
appeal
think
the
what they want.
masses.
Yeah.
For me
Felt
personally,
like a cop out.
I feel like
Mhm.
no, not at all. I feel like they were trying to write what felt like an epic ending and it didn't land.
Mm. Or it
Like
could be both. It could be a both and.
because okay, let's compare it to another Farewell Forever ending, The
Let's
Lord of
do
the
that.
Rings.
The Lord of the Rings. When they go,
Nobody feels
So
like
much better.
nobody feels like Frodo leaving for the and Gandalf and Bilbo leaving for the Undying Lands didn't make sense because they are like Frodo's still kind of dying.
well, for one, it's already established within the lore that to go to the Undying Lands, you can't return.
Correct.
Right.
And
So why can't Elle come back from Norway or wherever it was she
Iceland.
supposedly went?
Iceland.
it would if they wanted to keep her alive, it would have been a much more satisfying ending for her to show up like whenever Mike is on his typewriter. It pans
Yeah.
around and then Elle's behind him and then it ends that way.
Yeah.
And why the Terminator lady? Why we didn't kill her?
Yeah, what happened
Yeah,
to her? We have no idea what happened to her.
we could easily have left them all in the Upside Down and they all just died when the Upside Down got sucked into
Yeah.
space. And like that'd have been the most easy explanation. And I know a lot of people are like, did all those women die? Well, yeah, they all died because they were already dying. That's why they didn't. They were there's
Oh, the
they weren't-
pregnant ladies.
Yeah, they were all dying. That they established that. There's some
I was sitting here trying to remember what lady. you
there's
talking about?
some
Oh, he talking about the
critiques
pregnant lady.
that I'm like, this isn't really a critique I'm worried about. That's one I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about where were all the Demogorgons, because they weren't like there was just no Demogorgons connected to the hive mind in the abyss, and those kind of what happened to Derek's family. Like I'm not worried about those things.
They're
But,
still in the barn.
yeah, that graduation, they're still no, they got out. And I do not like the absence of characters, but those big things freaking
Will goes on to meet Jeffrey Dahmer in a bar.
did he kind of look like I can't remember what that guy looked
No,
like.
that's just it was people like took that scene of him in the bar and they imposed like
Oh, Evan Peters.
yeah.
That's funny.
It would have been the same time period. Jeffrey Dahmer would have been a little bit
earlier.
earlier.
But yeah, I again, I would even say I loved the ending, but I didn't love it like I should have, if that makes sense. It feels complete, but just not as pretty of a bow as it could have been. It's a very generic bow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or almost too pretty of a bow.
I can see what you're
It
saying.
wasn't believable.
Yeah.
The material of the bow is nice, but the formation of the bow is not that great. What do you
It's not
think?
quality
Joe?
material.
Joe, what do you think?
It was Dollar Tree quality material that they tied that bow with. And
You've been
Elle
quiet.
kept telling everybody that, oh, I'm gonna be here for you. Like when Will came out, oh, I'm gonna be here for you forever. Girl,
I'll be
you
your
just
best.
said you
I'll
was
be your
gonna
best
kill
friend for
yourself
6
in the
more
last
hours.
scene. Right.
6 more hours. I love you.
I will always
Never let
be your
go,
best
Jack.
friend.
Never let go. That's what that feels like. Go ahead, Doe.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very well executed. We haven't even talked about Jamie Campbell Bower and his amazing performance, but I enjoyed it. Was it the best like season finale I've ever seen? No, but I think season 3 and 4 were like pinnacle peak like seasons that really a lot of shows can't top. So I liked the way that they ended it out. I liked Holly, but I really liked Jamie Campbell Bower was the best part of the season for me.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
transformation into
Mhm.
Super Vecna. Like it was pretty awesome. The way
Right?
he looked coming into it, and it did not look more CG than the actual practical effects. I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
like
Those little things on his neck, on his
Yeah.
shoulders, and
And baby,
And
they
he-
snatched his waist.
I'm about saying that waist.
yeah,
I was
Everything
still,
that
Like
happened down in
villains?
like down in the
Like the
bruh.
mind. What was
the
it? Like
mines,
Yeah.
yeah. Like
he,
his face when he was looking at the mountain, like the cave entrance and everything. He just did a really, really good job.
Mhm.
Listen,
Yeah.
he last season he was Vecna. This season he was like Vecna Groot.
Mm. I see what you're saying.
And he was a
Um,
really good villain. I thought
He played the part very
overall
well.
for the
He
series, he was a good villain. Yeah,
Mhm.
good arc and everything.
I have a hard time looking at that actor and not thinking either Sweeney Todd or Harry Potter or was it
Twilight.
Breaking Dawn Twilight
Yeah.
when he was
Mhm.
he
I
'cause he
always
played in
hear
all this.
Joanna.
Me
every time I
too.
see him.
Oh,
Yes.
me too. Joanna. That's from Sweeney Todd for people that don't know.
Completely different character.
Mhm.
Completely.
That was like the one time that he played a heroic type character.
Yeah.
He almost always plays a villain, but yeah, I think James Campbell Bower was one of the best things about it. And I will say this: the first 3 episodes were amazing of this season, like on par with season 4. The way and that big climactic ending of that volume, I think we were all like, yeah, this is going to be the best season ever. And then it just,
Yep.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the best. It was the best part of the season.
I even
It
didn't
reached the
mind.
climax way too early.
I even
Mhm.
didn't mind that Collie showed up the way that volume ended. Like, oh, she's there. Okay, maybe they're going to give her something good, and then all of a sudden, God, I really hate that she's still here because she's just bringing it down. And
Really.
so everybody
We
was
all
talking
felt
about
like
how-
Hopper. Don't lie. Every time
Yeah.
she talked, we all
Yeah.
felt like Hopper. We
We
all
did.
rolled our eyes.
It's like you're-
Girl, just go ahead someone.
I'm sorry. Are you talking? Shut up. And so I thought a really great thing that they could have done with her. You know, everybody was talking, Eddie's still going to be around, and Vecna has this vampire lord that helps him. And I thought it'd been awesome if instead of Eddie, she was kind of like this traitor this whole time.
I thought that too. I thought
And it
that's what
would
they
have
were
been
gonna
so
do.
good that like it would have added so much more depth to that character.
Which we
It
talked
would have
about this,
made
'cause
sense
that's what
why
I
she was
thought.
going around killing all of the Hawkins Lab employees prior to everything and also how did she escape? We don't know how she escaped. It would have made way more sense if one got her out. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it
We
would have
don't
been a
know
much
because the
better
Duffers
story.
didn't know and they just wanted her to get out, and
Yeah,
then they couldn't show us.
because
They
she
didn't have to show us.
she got out before he left.
I thought 11 was gonna need like the battle was gonna be so epic. She needed somebody else with powers,
With
Mhm.
power.
like
Yeah.
her sister to defeat Vecna, and I was just let down.
I don't even hate Joyce being the one that hacks off his head.
It's still a great scene.
I just
Yeah.
feel like they could have been a lot more before that.
Mhm.
And then that could have been just a little cherry on it, just a little extra icing or whatever,
Mhm.
the sprinkles. But you had all this other big battle that led up to his death, and then here she is, and we're gonna see her go from this kind of a weak woman in the beginning to now she's standing on her own, because to me she whined the whole time.
Yeah. Tell me why we had an entire, like a year and a half of time between the end of season 4 and the beginning of season 5. And the only person who trained to fight Vecna was 11.
Mhm.
Right.
Like every single one of those the party members, they should have been using weapons
At the
and
gun
all
range,
kind of stuff. Like-
building flame throwing.
Yeah, like
just
and tell me
Because Will was too worried fighting his feelings. He couldn't fight Vecna.
like
He's too
and-
busy
and,
crying in a corner.
like he could have been the only one that didn't actually like prepare for it because they explained it through the innate powers thing. But you tell me if Dustin didn't come up with some really cool homunculus thing to follow him around and have R2D2 energy, everybody wouldn't have loved that crap. Like it'd have been awesome. And yeah, I just thought that they could have built it up significantly better, leaned way more into the actual D&D stuff, because freaking Mike looks at Elle and says, "This is our story," and he talks about the party, and then the party didn't even beat Vecna. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elle beat Vecna, and I don't know, just
I didn't like, one of my other qualms was that they never talked about how the fact that Joyce and Hopper went to school with Henry, and like,
oh yeah,
they never
Yeah.
explained that, like did they know that it was Henry Creel the whole time, or did they not know it was Henry Creel?
they did
And
end
if
up
they
using his
did-
name, right?
Yeah. So why didn't they put 2 and 2 together that they knew this guy
Mm-hmm.
in high school? It was just really bizarre. I didn't like that they didn't talk about that.
That there was no
Yeah.
actual, feels like there was actually
Yeah.
an actual
Yeah,
tie
they
in.
added in
Seemed like
all
an
that
important
stuff from
piece.
the show. Yeah, but they didn't add that one big piece.
Yeah,
Like, it was crazy.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, you think if you're a crazy random guy from high school that was there that one year and, you know, did all this stuff, and
people died.
yeah, and then he came back and he was the one stealing your kid and doing all this crazy stuff, that you would say something about, hey, I went to school with that guy, you know? It was,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
it was never mentioned. It was weird.
I
Yeah.
think that Mrs. Wheeler her and Mr. Wheeler should have freaking died.
No, I liked that
Mrs.
scene where she was like,
Wheeler held their own, okay?
I'm sorry.
Like,
I'm sorry. It's great. It's great that she stood up to the Demogorgon. There's no reason she should have survived that.
That is
well,
true.
she had to throw the
And she
oxygen in
defeated
the,
them all, so-
yeah, she had to
She
throw the
didn't have to.
oxygen in the,
She didn't have
in
to.
the-
she
They-
did, or they was gonna die. What you talking about?
It could have been any
She
other character.
saved all of them. 'Cause
Also, why-
Robin wasn't doing
Lucas
nothing.
was her baby. She went to go save him. Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, there ain't no way. Like, there's no way.
They
Through the
needed a
power-
better
through
reason
the
for
power
her
of
to
womanhood,
survive.
she survived somehow, and
Yeah.
that's really all it
I can
was.
see that.
Like, it was just to make a really strong female moment, but
Hey,
mom
close.
a mom sacrificing herself so her daughter could get away is an extremely strong female
I
moment.
mean, the whole story of Harry Potter is built on that.
Yeah,
Well, I
Like-
thought the dad did die, and then all of a sudden, oh,
because
he's still
he's
alive.
not
Me
there.
too. Me too.
I'm like,
And-
well, how is
Do
he
you guys-
alive?
Do you guys ever see the video of like I can't remember what it was, but it's like a character just sitting there waiting, and it's like Mr. Wheeler waiting on somebody to come visit him in the hospital.
Oh, that's sad.
He
Um,
literally
Isn't that
is-
the room that Robin stole all the drugs from? Wasn't it his room?
I don't remember seeing him in the hospital.
Room.
Oh,
But
I
I-
thought
like,
it was his room.
I'm pretty sure like Mr. Wheeler gets stabbed, by the way, stabbed by that Demogorgon's hand. And then all of a sudden we see him at graduation. That's the last time.
Right.
I mean,
he's completely an unchanged character. Everybody has character growth. He's the same as he is
Yeah.
beginning to end, because he's not an important character. He should have died, but you know, I don't know. I think we've run this whole dry. I think we're about to the end of it.
yeah.
We could probably talk for a lot longer, but I don't know that listeners would sit here and listen to it for much longer.
So, but yeah, I mean, again, I still think it was a great season, but I think everybody's expectations were very, very, very high because you want to beat the previous season, and they just didn't. So yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Yeah. It was okay. It was okay.
It was mid.
Yeah. It was mid. It was good. It wasn't great. I was okay with it. The rest of the season felt better than the end of it, I think. There were parts of it. There were parts of it that
Volume 1 was good.
Volume 1 should have been the last parts.
they should end there.
Ended that with that.
But
maybe Volume 1 was where the wife still had a say so in the writing.
Maybe so.
The ex-wife, because
maybe. But I will say
that would be so funny if that's why.
It could be because
I mean the timeline is
it does make sense. It does kind of make sense. I'll say it's not as infuriating, I guess, as Game of Thrones ending. You see what I mean? Because it's not a complete, divorce.
You try to mix divergence. Divorce
from the character that you've been watching and the thing that you kind of what should have happened, but it didn't go as hard as it should have.
Mm-hmm.
What's y'all?
I think I was expecting it to be like Avengers Endgame, like final battle.
Yes, 100%.
Like you're geared up for this, and it's the party. It's the party all together, and then it was a letdown. But yeah, I mean, it was okay. Like it was nothing to write home about.
You're right. But I don't regret watching it. But no. I wasn't.
I agree. I think Endgame's a good way to think about a really great ending to a good story. And they mess with your emotions so much. You had this huge wave effect during the show or the movie, where I think that's what they were trying to do with the whole Will thing. It just didn't land, like y'all said. But overall, it wasn't bad. But I could watch Endgame every single day for months on end and be totally okay with it. I watched this twice. The night it came out, the night after, and then I'm okay. I probably won't watch it again for a few years.
What you think, Beverly?
I didn't say my thoughts.
She said it was mid.
It was mid and lackluster.
And you said yours, Jill? Well, it's that time, folks. But
my wife's got to come too.
She can hang out here long, but you got to get to stepping.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I could talk Stranger Things all day.
Well, we're glad. Thank you for being here. Thank all of you, all you ladies, for being here on the show with us. And we'll wrap this one up, and we'll be back. I guess next week with something new.
Adios, guys.
See you later.
Down and down the rabbit hole.